Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an episode of Career Mode. Now I apologize there wasn't any videos yesterday. It was actually because YouTube was having a bit of a bitch fit. It was on its period yesterday, and it was just having a bad day essentially. It wasn't giving out my videos to the viewers, so I just decided it's best not to upload. Heard way too many complaints, and on my Facebook page I said since I didn't upload anything yesterday, I'll actually go ahead and upload 3 today if this video does well. So with that being said, let's get into this episode. And the theme of this transfer window, or I'd say this transfer window is probably the transfer window where I want to get rid of a lot of the dead wood. I actually get a 17 million bid for Ramirez, and I come back and I counter offer them for 25 million. Previously, I had already received an offer from Juventus for, I believe it was like 19 million, but I counter offered 25 million for them as well. So, you know, I'm willing to get rid of Ramirez for 25 million because I feel as though he can't get much better. He can only go down the way. But Barcelona get back to me and they say not enough for El Shaarawy, but Juventus say yes to that 25.5 million bid for Ramirez. And so it looks like also Bayern also said yes to 25 million. So it was down to what club Ramirez wanted to go to, whether that be Juventus, whether that be Bayern Munich. I'm sure it'll all come down to how much they offer him per week. But with that being said, you know, that's 25 million. I believe they'll probably give me around, I think they end up giving me about 19 million to my budget. And this player here, Adrian, I think that's how you say his name. I'm pretty sure it's not said Aid Ryan, unless Ad Ryan, just no. It just doesn't sound right. So I'm going to go with Adrian. And he's the one player that in every transfer window, there are an abundance of people that just say, get this guy, get this guy, get this guy. And I was just like, right, okay, well, at least, I should take a look at him, inquire into him, I suppose, take a look. But just so many people were going after him. I was like, I'm sure he's going to be a good player. And as you guys can see, he's one of the best in his position. So I could make a bid between 8.5 and 9.4. But I decided I'd be a bit cheeky. And as always, I never tend to, go for that particular bracket, because a lot of the times you guys will see that you can actually get them for cheaper than what your chief executive actually comments and recommends. So that's just something to keep in mind. But Barcelona, again, they come in, and I decided, well, since Juventus have already accepted 25.5, there's no harm in me making it 30, because I know I'm guaranteed 25.5 unless the contracts stall. And so I just decided I might as well make it for 30 for Barcelona. But the player is sold. Ramirez is now off to Juventus, and I get 19 million in the kitty, which looks really good. I could definitely go and at least get that Adrian player. He looks like he could be really good. But another thing in my mind is also the fact that I do want to keep some money for the January transfer window, because what I've noticed is unless you keep some money from your summer transfer window, which is this one right here, then often your January transfer window budget is a lot smaller. So for that reason, I decided that I'd keep, I don't want to spend all of it. But as you guys can see, I went through a bit of a simulation, because preseason games I always simulate, just not interested. Muriel picks up 2 and Merkel gets 1 himself. But unfortunately, Flamengo there, they decided that, 7.5 just wasn't enough, and that I needed to pay 10 million. They has 10 million for this guy, and with me getting rid of a center attacking mid, it would only make sense for me to bring in another center attacking mid. And for that reason, that's why I was bringing in Adrian. He looks really good. He's got 4-star skills to anyone interested, and he's probably just the most commented player in on my videos. He's definitely one of the guys that is just spammed in the comments. So for that reason, I decided I'd really try and go after him, just for the sake of the viewers, because that's what you guys wanted to see at the club. But again, Flamengo smack me in the face and tell me I'm a punk-ass bitch, and tell me that I need to go out and shell out big money. So I decided to offer 9.3 this time, and that was really the furthest I was going to go for him. I actually come up against Juventus here, and who has Ramirez in the starting lineup, as you guys can see, number 30 there. And so it would be interesting to see how I'd go up against Juventus, considering we just sold Ramirez. But Nastasic, they're getting the first goal to make it 1-0 in the 20th minute, and I was really excited to see that. I was just praying that Ramirez wouldn't score against me, and that was like my main thing. I just didn't want him to score. We were also away at Juventus. Simulating away games are always risky, but they are 2-0. Muriel in the 70th minute just gives them the big black pipe, and there was no return for them as we win 2-0. So pretty much gave the middle finger to Ramirez, as he kind of felt a bit shit, the fact that he's not at the club that just smacked his new club around the face. And we actually have Bologna, something like that. And this team is looking good. If you guys are wondering, why am I playing close to my full squad in these preseason games? Just because I want to get some, I want to get these young players that I have really, really progressing well. I want to get Muriel a higher level quickly. Same with Shirawe, Merkel. Hoyle is actually coming along really nicely, but great news, Flamengo decided to accept my 9.3 million bid for the youngster, the 19-year-old, 77 rated center attacking mid, Adrian. And for 25, he asked for 25,000 a week, which is actually not bad. But how about those for stats? Marius Gunsech, I'm not too sure, but 86 overall. He doesn't have a face. I don't know, guys, if he's a generated player, a FIFA generated player, or if he is just a player who they didn't manage to get the rights for the face for. I'm not too sure. You guys let me know. Does he actually exist in real life or not? Look at Jovetic's stats. Oh my god, that is just so filthy. I mean, really, those are incredible. But as you guys know, those are always very expensive players. But I did know I had, a bit of extra money from that Ramirez sale, so I was definitely interested. I had 35 million in the bank, but I still wanted to improve my right back position. That was definitely, a position I was looking to improve and improve a lot as well, because the defense is definitely somewhere I need to strengthen. But yeah, I've already got great strikers, so I needed a third one because I knew I was going to sell Matux. Matux already expressed his desire to leave the club, so I knew, as you guys see here, I added him to the transfer list because I knew he wanted to go. He wasn't chuffed with the fact that he was at the club, so for that reason I decided I'd put him up, and I needed a third striker. I can't just run into a season with only 2 strikers. You don't want the Liverpool syndrome. You don't want that. So with that being said, I definitely needed a third striker. So as you guys can see, I inquired into loads of them, but they were all asking for huge amounts of money. And with that being said, I was kind of like, I want some money for January. I want some money for a right back. I don't know if I can justify spending 30 million on a third striker. That's essentially what it would be. But as you guys can see, Champions Cup ambitions for QPR, that's where we want to be. We want to be in the top 4 this season. I hope you guys have all enjoyed this episode. If you have, then leaving a like or a comment or any of that fun shenanigans would just be awesome. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you all later. And like I said, if this video reaches 3,000 likes, next video up ASAP. See you guys later. Bye-bye.